Hi, I'm Rebecca from SYN Media, and we provide broadcast opportunities and media training for young Australians. Thank you to Maribyrnong Council for having us host this Isolation Creation series.
In today's Isolation Creation, the SYN Media team, myself and Beck, will be taking you through how to record remotely and set up a DIY studio at home. It's a really great time to reach out to others, and you don't have to travel to a studio. You can make one right at home. Some of these methods look really fun and are actually being used by professional podcasters and radio makers. Don't worry if you don't have any fancy equipment. We'll show you what you can use with everyday items. Let's get started.
One important device that you will need to record your podcast is, of course, a microphone. There's a variety of microphones out there, and we're going to describe the pros and cons of each. Let's start with your inbuilt computer microphone. As a general rule, this should be your last resort, but the newer the computer, generally the better quality. Inbuilt phone microphones might be useful for recording voice memos and gathering little vox pops. Headphone microphones, so most of us would have a pair of wired, inbuilt mobile phone headphones. One thing you do need to be careful of with mobile phone headphones is they can get caught on clothing and might make some rustling noises. Also, if you have long hair, you might need to push this back behind the microphone. A USB microphone. These are quite handy because they don't require an audio recording interface, meaning you can plug it into your laptop or your computer and pretty much get recording straight away. They're a bit more affordable than an analog microphone. If you do have the money to invest in a good quality microphone, analog would be the best. They're closer to studio quality, but they're really just for audio nerds. So working within your budget, headphone microphones or a USB microphone might just be the way to go. Importantly, you don't need to buy something really expensive. Just work with what you have. A good tip is no matter what microphone you choose to use, you can stack some books so that your mouth is level with the microphone. This will make sure the sound gets recorded directly into the microphone. Let's talk about setting up your recording space. You will want to record in a small room with lots of books and furniture to absorb the sound. You're not going to be able to get a studio quality soundproof space, but absorbing the sound can be really easy with just what you have around you. But most importantly, please make sure you're comfortable and safe as you might be sitting for a long time. If you become too warm or feel uncomfortable, please take a break to reset and readjust. Hygiene. Remember to wipe down surfaces and disinfect a microphone sock with a disinfectant spray, but never spray a microphone directly as moisture can damage the equipment. It's all about trial and error, so use what's around you, and experimenting to create your DIY home studio can be quite fun.
These are some examples of podcast makers getting creative with their home studios.
Hello SYN crew, and welcome to my crib or my makeshift studio. This is how I've been recording in isolation. It's Bex here. I am one half of the Culture Cult on SYN. This is our Instagram page, which we've been able to update a bit more in isolation. This is just a tiny corner of my room. I chose this place because it will be the most sound dense, and it's a room with a lot of shelves, a lot of clutter, a lot of books, and all the rest of it. So this is how I've been recording. This is my laptop. Obviously, I record straight to Audacity. I don't have any paid editing programs. This is some equipment that I've been borrowing. Fancy Rode panel. I really like the rainbow lights on it. lots of just some old pillows and cushions. Tie-dye is optional to further record the sound. This is just a little desk that I would usually use to get ready, do makeup, whatever, but I've actually chosen it because when I sit down, it means the microphone is still level with my mouth. Some other things I've been keeping handy are some over-the-ear headphones, if you do have them handy. They also have a built-in microphone, usually, so if you don't have any external equipment. Some sanitizer to keep my hands clean, and some disinfectant spray to spray and wipe the equipment before and after each use, so I can return it in a nice clean condition. This is some artwork, optional. It's just something nice to look at. Now that you're ready to record, let's run through some techniques. Remember to sit still and remove any jackets or noisy jewellery before you record, as sensitive microphones will pick these up really easily. If you have a pop filter, this will help to catch any loud popping sounds, which are also referred to as plosives. You might have heard some come through the microphone just now. They're a little bit pesky and really tricky to edit out, so it's best to avoid them before you record. Ensure you have your run sheet handy, as this will act as a really useful production schedule, and ensure you don't run over time. You can also record directly into any DAW, that's digital audio workstation, by connecting your USB mic or any cable you have directly to your device.
Now that you know how to set up your space at home for recording and some recording techniques, it's time to look at DAWs, also known as digital audio workstations. There are three main DAWs that we use for audio editing and recording. These are Reaper, Audacity, and Audition. We'll be going through the pros and cons of each. First up, we have Reaper. The great thing about Reaper is that there's a free trial, and if you do purchase a license, it's a one-off payment. Reaper is quickly becoming the favourite DAW for professional radio producers in Australia, and there's extensive online resources. Screen Reader is also accessible. So far with Reaper, we haven't come across any cons. Next up, we have Audacity. It's free to use and download. There are no workarounds or special offers. It's free to go. There are also extensive online resources and tutorials to help you navigate Audacity, and Screen Reader is accessible. Audacity does have a few cons. There's destructive editing, which means if something gets cut out, it's cut. You also need to make sure that you're constantly saving your work. In saying that though, destructive editing can be your friend if your computer has a particularly low processing power. Also, Audacity isn't used in a professional setting. However, when starting out making a podcast, Audacity is a great place to start. Thirdly, there's Audition. Audition offers waveform and multi-track view for ease and works well with the rest of Adobe Creative Cloud. However, there is a monthly subscription that can be quite expensive, but it is used in a professional setting. Some other DAWs that you can look into are Pro Tools, Logic Pro, Ableton, GarageBand, and Wavelab.
Recording from home and creating a DIY home studio can be fun, so get creative and use what's around you. You don't need to have expensive, fancy equipment or completely soundproof the space that you're in. You'll still be able to make great content wherever you are. Keep an eye out for the next video on how to source sound as well as some editing tips.